Everyone has that one moment, that one memory in their life that defines who they are, and for me, that moment was when I was in high school. My English teacher pulled me aside after our class. I was homeschooled, so our classes were online, so she just told me to stay behind after everybody else left. She wanted to talk to me about an assignment I submitted for school, and she wanted to tell me how well she thought I did on it, as well as something that she told me that has stuck with me the rest of my life. She told me that being an emotional person like I am, it's not a bad thing, it's not a terrible thing, and it's what makes the best writers. And she said, "You, my girl, are an amazing writer," and that stuck with me because I was getting my first compliment on something that I wrote that nobody else told me to do, and it was amazing getting a compliment on something that I didn't think it was that good. But anyway, after she told me that, it kind of just set a fire off at me. It made me feel like I should be going to school for writing, but that's definitely not where I started at with college. Anyway, um, I'm emotional. I'm an emotional person. I wear my heart on my sleeve. It's just who I am. It's who I've always been. And growing up, I was told a lot that being an emotional person like me, either I was too over emotional or not emotional enough, and I got bullied for that a lot in school too. So that was interesting. That's one of the reasons why I was homeschooled. But sometimes I don't let my emotions I do let my emotions talk for me, and that's not good. And other times I use my head more than my emotions, and I'm trying to find a balance for that, but I have not yet figured that out yet. But to get to where this is going, I started writing a book in about 6th grade, and for me, I was watching Pretty Little Liars, a well-known show that everybody knows, at least in the time frame that I grew up in. Anyway, I was watching a particular scene about Ezra Fitz and Arya, and he was talking about how he wanted to publish a book, and he was showing her pages of a book that he was writing. And to me, that gave me the idea to say, why not can I write my own book? What's so wrong with a 6th grader writing a book? There is nothing wrong. There's no age limit on when you can write a book. So I thought, okay, let's start writing a book. And believe me when I say, I had a wild imagination when I was around 13. My book started with an octopus scientist. Yep, that's where it started. And then I went from that to mermaids, and then was all over the place. But eventually I finally figured out what my book was going to be about. It took me a long time to finally figure out the plot of my book. But I finally got to that point, and I will say that I struggled with the idea of letting others read it because I was scared about how everybody else was going to see it, or what they were going to think about it, or if they would judge me for my writing. I mean, I'm still working on that fear, but I'll get there eventually. Some people think that writing is just a story that you tell or something you read, and others, it's just something they like doing. But for me, it's a passion, it's an outlet, and that outlet has helped me through a lot of times in my life, and it still does to this day. I've had a lot of dark moments, and for me, when I got at those times, I would write my book and blast music as loud as I could in any type of headset that I had. I didn't care. I was just writing my heart away because that's what I needed to do at the present moment. And yes, I'm still writing my book, and it's still a work in progress, but it's getting there. And I'd say writing is a big passion of mine. And just recently, family members of mine found out that I was going to school for creative writing. And they told me pretty much that a career in creative writing would never work out, that I'll never be able to make any money at it, that it's not practical. But that doesn't matter to me because I'm not going to let what they say affect me. Yes, it hurts my family saying that type of stuff to me, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm still going to go to school for what I want to make a career out of. And after I get through college for creative writing, I want to go through college again for new media journalism, get my master's in that. And I feel like my book has helped me through a lot, and it still has, even though it's still in a work in progress. But in the end, I'm not gonna let what my family members or friends or anyone says about me to affect me, because I'm doing this for me and no one else, and I'm gonna prove everyone wrong that I can do this, because it's what I want for my life. I'm also gonna prove to myself that I can do it, because if no one's gonna be there for me, I'm gonna be there for myself.